Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Proving Grounds powered by Verizon. My name is XT. I am joined here with Cully. We just had ourselves a quick, dominant, brutal, and beautiful 2-0 by No Org, taking down Barrage as they send them down to the lowest bracket. But now we got ourselves a brand new matchup here in the lower bracket. Immortals Academy looking to stay alive against the upstarts in wildcard gaming. It's going to be an exciting series, Cubby. And before we even go anywhere here, we want to remind everyone at home that the action doesn't stop here for League of Legends, even though Proving Grounds will be taking a week. Yes, it's the mid-season showdown! Be sure to take out the opening ceremony on April 11th, where you'll be seeing some familiar faces as Pentakill is going to be making a re-debut onto the stage presented by MasterCard.
Yeah, and I mean, if you guys have heard some of the music that League has put together, always fantastic. The fact that we get a live concert back, and at the mid-season showdown, the fact that, you know, those players are going to be back on stage, pretty exciting for everyone competing in the LCS,
Yep.
and best of luck to the teams competing this upcoming weekend. But got to bring the focus back into today, XT, as we have a do-or-die match for an Academy team and an amateur team. It is Immortals going up against Wildcard. And I know that both of these teams, I mean, it goes without saying, they definitely want to, you know, keep their tournament hopes alive. But from talking with each of them, too, it's been very different sentiments coming out of each camp from speaking with the coaches. When I speak with Immortals, I talked with Jensen and Joey, echoing a lot of words, you know, around keeping things simple, effective, staying calm, not getting ahead of themselves. They feel like they've been performing well enough in their scrims and their practice to, you know, be able to snowball some more of these early game leads they've been able to amass into effective wins. Whereas on stage, they've tripped up with that here and there. Whereas Wildcard, I know from talking with Morgan, I asked him, like, hey man, like, how you feeling coming into this match? And he gave me one sentence, which was, we have something special planned with a smiley face. So I'm curious to see what kind of special thing they have planned as Wildcard, the amateur team. They might be the amateur team, but once again, a very strong performing team. And both of the teams in the lower bracket, I will say, had very, very, very close best of threes to get here. Could have easily stayed to the winner's bracket. Those series just didn't go their way. And now we have another close best of three, at least what I expect, which should be a very, very fun series to watch.
Yeah, I can't wait to see both these teams fight against each other. They put up two amazing series last week, and they play against their opponents here. You know, Immortals Academy almost bringing it back when they played their series last week, and also Wildcard as well when they played against, you know, Dignitas Academy. So it's going to be really interesting to see how they do. Now Evil G's Prodigies are looking very strong, as well as after taking down Dignitas Academy. So really, honestly, this side of the bracket has been super, super strong, and you see the rosters down below. It's quite interesting to see on how well both these teams' bot lanes actually have been, especially, you know, Team Luke, who has been kind of the superstar here for Wildcard Gaming.
Team Luke has been the highlight player. He actually didn't compete with Wildcard Gaming for one of the tournaments as he was subbing in for COG Academy. They had those visa issues with Katsuri, getting all their players over. Team Luke actually stepped in. He was playing on like the LA servers from the East Coast. He was winning games on like 70 ping with like a potato PC. There was like one clip where like he dropped frames and like still like picked up a 2v2 kill with hooks. And this guy, in one of his first splits playing in amateur, has already made a name for himself. Really, really strong player. The center, the focal point of Wildcard. But I also like the pieces that they have around him when thinking about Quacker and Zeno. These guys are actually teammates over for Illinois Chicago, one of the top 10 collegiate teams that we probably have going into the CVAL season. Have been really holding down the fort for Wildcard in these solo lanes. And then for me, the highlight player and the highlight matchup for today is actually the support matchup. Daption has been fantastic. He played in Scouting Grounds on a weaker team last year. Honestly, he only played Enchantresses, whereas this year, his Rel, his Alistar have been looking really strong in the way that he's finding engages. He's improved a lot and become one of the top support prospects for all of amateur. And then Joey on the other side, I thought he looked fantastic in their win against EGP. And also, this is his old team. He competed on Wildcard Game against Scouting Grounds last year. I know that all the people have changed. It doesn't really mean that much to him, but he just thinks that, you know, if Immortals can go in, being calm, being level-headed, that they're going to be the ones that are able to take the cake. So all about, you know, I guess the green and blue, right? The calming colors, the nature. That's what Immortals is doing. I swear I'm not wearing this green for Immortals. It's just Masters weekend. I had to rep.
Well, I mean, I have a green background. I'm just gonna put that one out there, buddy. There's not really much we could go with this. We got the green and the blue and the left and right of our screens here, but either way, oh man, I mean, it's gonna be pretty interesting, and I honestly, this is gonna be a pretty heartbreaking series too. Like Immortals and Wildcard, I both love both these squads heading into this tournament. Unfortunately, they just drew the short end of sticks. They're facing each other's, and they both had fantastic performances to debut the first week, but just came out of a little bit short. I think right now, if you are a fan of the underdog right now, you're rooting for Wildcard, right? These guys have just been super explosive throughout the whole entire scene. Not to mention, right, they were one of the few teams that were able to cause a lot of crazy upsets throughout the whole entire tier 2 tournaments for Proving Grounds. While you look at Immortals Academy, they started off strong, 4-0 beginning of Academy. They were looking like one of the top teams to beat, and unfortunately they fell down to 5th seed as a 5-4 record. So both these teams have a lot of proof, and they've had those performances. It just depends, are we going to be able to see that kind of performance here today?
Yeah, I like the fact you mentioned the 4-0 Academy start. Unfortunately, that led to a 5-4 split for them. I know not exactly what Immortals was hoping for. Also, recently in Northern Arena, they actually dropped out pretty quickly, 0-2. They did put up a really close best-of-3 against Team Liquid, who looked a lot better in Northern Arena and, had the early exit here in Proving Grounds. Immortals looking to not follow their path there, as I think that they're really looking for something to prove. I know that, speaking with Jensen and Joey, they really believe in themselves. They think that if they're able to kind of gather themselves and play that simple, effective league that they know they can do with these early game leads, they believe they can really snowball this through. But I like the fact that they're going up against Wildcard, because for an amateur team, Wildcard's early game was actually one of the better ones we've seen. They have some good first 3-wave setups, their ability to secure crabs, and for me, the highlight really for them has been Panda, a member that didn't step in until the last Tier 2 tournament where Wildcard, they had to clutch it out to even qualify for the Tier 1s. They didn't even qualify for the first Tier 1 because they were a bottom 2 amateur team. They had to wait for Giant Slayer, where they did qualify to be a member of Proving Grounds. And Panda, this is the Panda that replaced Rush back on Echo Fox, right? And using that experience, bringing some of that shot calling to the squad, filled with young, talented rookies, has really given Wildcard more of a centerpiece, some serenity on the Rift, and given them a little bit more focus and direction. So I want to keep our eyes on Wildcard and Panda. Let's see if Panda gets a hold of the Udyr or the Hecarim, 2 champions that he's been heavily favoring throughout the tournaments that we've seen Wildcard competing in, as we are now getting into the draft XT of this best-of-3. We are going to have Immortals starting off on the blue side. I apologize, I don't have all the fun blue side stats for Immortals that I did for Norg, but when you're going off of 15 to 20 games instead of 70 or 80 games, it's a little bit harder to gather those.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to see how both these teams really do. So far, we're seeing a lot of, ADC-centric focus. I'm not going to say truly bot-side focus, because we all know Tristana can also be flexed to the mid lane here and there. But so far, it's pretty clear what Immortals' game plan is. Hey, Team Luke, you ain't getting anything you want to, pop off on. I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe I think it's overkill, but maybe we see the Kai'Sa. No, Darrell is also going to get banned away here. Could even speak to a early B1 ADC pickup if Immortals want to continue to put the hurt in the top side, but also Tapoon losing his Gnar.
Yeah, so that is Tapoon's most played. He is 4-2 on the Gnar with 6 games on it so far throughout Academy, Northern Arena, and now Proving Grounds. And also, fun fact, Immortals best-of-3 against EGP, the only champion they played more than once in that entire series actually was the Lilia. So that Lilia is going to be taken away. And then the Graves ban, if you're scratching your head about that one, that is a potluck special. It's one of his best champions, so Wildcard denying that. And we talked about the importance of the Udyr for Panda, that has been his best champion throughout all of Proving Grounds, is going to be denied by the side of Immortals. So Jensen, the rest of IMT doing their homework, taking that away from Panda. I fully expect to see a Hecarim Kai'Sa combo actually coming out from Wildcard here. It's been really solid for them. They could get some dive and get the handshake with that Udyr in the jungle.
Yeah, we're definitely going to have to wait and see. No, it's going to be instead that Thresh.
I was wrong.
We saw the Thresh banned away the whole entire series last time, and we're going to be seeing it here. I mean, he's quite a strong champion so far, and 11.6 is able to have so much safety, but also have a lot of pick potential thanks to his Depth Sentinel on his Q. That's going to be Davshin going to be picking that one up for himself. And, maybe we could see the Aphelios Thresh. I don't think we're going to be seeing it this early, but I wouldn't be surprised if we do not see the handshake, right? We saved that maybe for a B3. No, instead, it's going to be that Varus locked in, and that's quite a safe bot laner you got there. It's not something we see ever too often on Team Luke, in my opinion.
Yeah, this is something that we actually, it's a pick that's getting a lot of popularity in LPL.
Yeah.
The fun part about Varus is that there are actually 3 different keystones and 3 different builds that you can go for that feel really good on the champion. There's that lethality poke style. We've even seen a combination of the both where you grab like Kraken Slayer into a Gnasher's Tooth, and then your WQ, like if you're able to stack up those Blight stacks. We saw 1k damage pops. That was actually built by Shiro against IMT earlier in the tournament. So IMT fully aware of the power of this Varus and Wildcard, picking that up early with the 80 carry pool being narrowed. See the importance of that. That said, Immortals going to respond with the Seraphine. We saw Pretty play it in their first set against EGP. Pretty has been really known for his control mage play, and with the Lucian lock-in, actually, that is also the other champion that he's been known for. It's the champion that IMT got their win off of in the first series, and I would fully expect for that to go to the side of IMT. I don't expect any Braum pairings coming out and having that go bot. And I would not be surprised to see the Hecarim now come out for Wildcard. I think that they wanted to secure this power pick of the fresh Varus. Now the Hecarim, the handshake into the Udyr, and then the ability to dive on the Seraphine would make a lot of sense to me here.
Yep, and just like that, we won't be seeing the Hecarim. It's going to be the Victor instead, so apologies, Mr. Cubby. You ain't going to see the handshake.
Man, my book's wrong. The Magic Ball was working pretty well for the first one, but Panda, he does have 8 games played on Udyr and Hecarim. His next most played is actually the Graves on 3. So I would not be surprised if we had a Hecarim Olaf ban being targeted at Panda. Having his pool narrowed heavily could lead to something like a Nidalee from them. As Wildcard, they actually see the Seraphine and, they think that it's actually going into the hands of Keith by the fact that they are going to take away the Alistar, all that tankiness, that engage power on their 2 immobile backliners, something they have to be worried about. I would also, if I'm Wildcard at this point of the draft as well, I might be worried about a potential Gangplank coming out from the side of IMT, something that Tapoon has played a little bit of. 2 immobile backline carries for Wildcard. Those barrels that can barrage could be really deadly. And also Quacker has been so incredibly powerful on the Renekton. That's a matchup where GP can get out of okay if you're Tapoon. So I almost want to see that ban come in here for Wildcard second.
Hey, I will say, though, you are leaving up a pick that Quacker has put up before to Darius.
Oh, the
is quite...
They don't want Lucian going bot. Okay, okay.
They definitely don't want the Lucian going Braum. Yeah. So that's just going to be a double support ban. And, maybe even we could see Discarner, right? So I would assume that it's a great pick to make sure you deny any of that back lane access. Nidalee is also going to get banned away here. And now we're going to have to really wonder, are they saving something special for the top lane counter pick, for the jungle counter pick? Or are we going to be seeing something really standard? We're just going to have to wait and see. Honestly, my pick would honestly be low-key Discarner, but that's just my gold jungle instincts really coming in online here.
You are the play-by-play. You just want to go full Captain Flowers here on the LCS.
This is correct.
I get it. He's pretty good at what he does. Only one of the best. But I would not be surprised if we see Renekton for Wildcard. It's something that Quacker's been really defaulting to. That said, this is different, and I really like this. So, couple fun things that you can do with the Nocturne Varus pairing, right? If you turn off the lights, you cannot see where those arrows are coming out from. This tells me that Team Luke might be going for more of that poke lethality build for this Varus. Also, this can be flex top lane for Quacker, so still keeping options open for the side of Wildcard Gaming with where all their picks are going. They're hiding some of their cards as we get through the draft, and this is going to force IMT to make some decisions. Decision number 1 being the Nautilus for Joey, a counter into the Thresh. That depth charge, being able to guarantee lockdown on either Varus or Victor as the game goes on, going to be very powerful and something that Wildcard will have to worry about. And with the blind pick in the top side for Tapoon, looks like he might be defaulting to his Aatrox. It is his second most played, as Joey flashing the cat there. Yeah, he always does that. It's a nice little shout out to Yumi. Fortunately, we don't see her. We never want to see her.
Yeah, no more Yumi here. We're going to be seeing the Aatrox there, the World Ender instead of there's Yumi again. How are you doing? Could you please leave the B5 area, because you're not getting picked here today. But if you do, I will. I'll cry. Either way,
ADFX, he did say they had some surprises prepped. Maybe,
that is true. I called it. I'm just saying, Darius is an option here, and that could be an option that Quacker would want to get in. Honestly, you know, if there's one thing you always gotta watch out of most amateur teams is that you could just see the pocket Darius just out of nowhere, and that's exactly what Quacker's gonna do here for today. Wildcard Gaming, they're gonna be locking in quite an aggressive top side of the map here, while IMT Academy, they're gonna be just locking in something just straightforward, something just fine, just some classic team fighting composition that we always like to see here over in Proving Grounds.
And you know what? Morgan said ADFX, they had something special prepped. Why not give Quacker his one trick? We saw so many Darius bans in this tournament aimed at Dragoon, the top winner of Dignitas Mirage. Unfortunately, they were knocked out early. Quacker, the other Darius player that we have in Amateur, this is a pick that he plays very, very well. He's known for in high elo solo queue and has a good matchup into Aatrox. We'll have to dive more into that one as this game goes on, but Wildcard, something they have champions that Quacker and Xeno are comfortable with. They have something that Panda can engage on. I'm a little bit worried when it comes to the follow-up for Panda. There isn't a dive buddy that he has to really help him go in with the Nocturne. His only dive buddy is going to be those Varus arrows coming in from the Fog of War, right? That's going to be something that Team Luke is going to have to be on point with, and I'm curious to see what kind of build he goes with. I'm expecting more of the lethality angle, but, you know, still could go for the combo with the Kraken Slayer and the Nashor's Tooth. I kind of want to see that build because the damage that comes out of that is disgusting, as they would be taking a page out of EGP's book, one of the champions that they used to beat IMT in that best-of-3 last week, as both teams looking to bounce back from some close best-of-3 losses now in the losers bracket and keep their hopes alive as we're about to dive into this one.
Both teams don't want to get knocked out of the tournament, and here we are going into the Rift quite soon. Immortals and Wildcard, they got a lot to prove, man, and this is going to be the first of a wonderful best-of-3 series for both teams here. Here we are, heading into the Rift. Mr. Cubby is, man, we got Darius. All I'm saying, it's going to be a fun game, and very brave of Tapoon to answer with a Doran's Blade instead of a Doran's Shield.
Yeah, so what we're going to look for in this matchup, Quacker has the ability, if he's able to sneak into the Fog of War, some of these brushes, to... Oh, as they're actually going to clear out the ward. Okay, so that's big. It was shared between 3 members because Xeno got an auto down, but Quacker might just hit level 2 on the first wave, as that ward experience can be the difference of hitting level 1 or level 2 on the first wave. This would be a lot more vision as well. Power. Yeah, this would be a lot more power over the top laner of Wildcard. As Quacker, look for him to zone out Tapoon from the wave completely. If you're able to get in the face of Aatrox level 1 and land a W slow, you just straight up win the auto attack trade with your passage. So look for Quacker to get very, very aggressive. He is going to try and pull the wave here, most likely, and try and step in front of it and bully Aatrox from even getting any XP or gold from the first wave. And that's how Quacker on this Darius can try and snowball this matchup, as that top lane matchup going to be very volatile. I want to keep our eyes on that one here in the early game. See if Quacker's able to use his signature pick in solo queue to great success here in this competitive game.
Honestly, I just feel like Amateur just has like a hidden buff of Darius where like every single time we see a Darius come up, it's just going to take over the game. That's what my experience at least has been seeing with Darius, and I wonder if Quacker can do that the same effect. Something else do you want to know, as Quacker is going to now establish dominance into this lane because he is now level 2, gets to hook in, and now Tapoon will take a little bit of damage. We're all seeing both junglers doing the classic full clear into meeting themselves at the same side of the jungle. Is pretty, you know, honestly, one of the highlights here for IMT Academy. Playing at Lucian mid lane, I'm fully expecting him to kind of take control here over Xeno, as, you know, I think this is a matchup that's definitely Lucian favored.
Yeah, especially before that first base. And we talked about the importance that Immortals put on the early game. And I know from talking with Jensen, they feel like their early games are really strong. We've seen a lot of leads come out from Immortals Academy. It's just the issue's been transitioning that, making sure they're turning that into more gold and more wins for themselves. So they definitely drafted for, you know, focus on early game with this Lucian mid. Guarantees priority for the Udyr, who's the fastest clearing jungler that we have in the meta right now. Want to see if Immortals can secure the early lead that we're you know, kind of expecting out of this team with how they play and their draft priority, and can turn that now into a potential win as potluck. That full clear, man. Udyr does it so fast, finds himself now on the bot side of the map.
You're gonna hit the bear, stun into maybe a scuttle. Looking to get the scuttle. Won't get the scuttle. It's gonna be a fight instead from IMT Academy. They're gonna be looking to flash on top of Panda, and that's gonna be first blood going on over to Immortals. But at what cost? Quacker is gonna get the two-man hook and will take vengeance. Stay off of my scuttle here. That's gonna be Wildcard with a great response after the first blood coming in from Immortals.
All right, so we had the Burger Boys in the last match, but the real flip comes at the first crap here as Wildcard, they decide to invest everything. IMT responds, and Wildcard, they win out on the trade because Quacker TP's first. And this angle for the Darius is exactly where Darius wants to be, right? The fact that you're up in the face of everyone. Lands a beautiful apprehend on the two, denying the flash away that we saw from Potluck. And that apprehend... They get apprehended for going for that play, XT. That's 2 kills going over to Wildcard, and early double buff going over to their all-star 80 carry of Team Luke as well. The prospect that everyone's been talking about on this team, especially after his stint in Academy. And another double buff going over to Quacker, so buff transfer complete, man. Both checks end up hitting the bank and clearing for Wildcard as their side lane's feeling real good with this extra power they have in the early game.
NA Amateur Darius's, man, they just have a special aura around them, and now Quacker has to feel super good in this game. You know, the problem here is that, you know, even though we've hyped the Bootier as much as we could, he is the fastest jungler in the game, his path is extremely predictable, and I guess that's just an effect of Wildcard. Just going like, they saw him on the tri-bush, and he had a great response, and unfortunately, you know, that is going to cost the Udyr the topside scuttle, and most likely, you know, this bottom side scuttle as well is probably going to be going on to Panda, so you couldn't have asked for a better early game than this. Tapoon right now is probably going to be feeling the pain right now, gets hooked in one more time. Look at that bleed, look at that damage to red buff plus hemorrhage stacks there. Oh, your Aatrox, you're just in pain, man. You hate to see it.
Yeah, he landed everything there and still, you know, lost the trade, which...
Yep.
That's like the opposite of Zoe, you know, like where you miss everything and then still win the trade, so that usually means that things aren't quite going your way, but hey, different champion, different matchup in that top lane as Wildcard going to use that double buff, use that early base that they just had for Luke and Daption. We saw them base in front of Joey. Joey intelligently pulled the wave, but hey, that does create a freeze and gives Wildcard a window where they can use this early power to take the first dragon. So, like the macro play coming out from the Amateur team, is now Joey looking for one of those roams in the mid lane.
Yep, and, you know, we're going to be seeing the classic take the Mountain Drake because we know our team has an advantage play there from Wildcard game. They're going to be going ahead and getting that Mountain Drake for themselves, and that will mean Inferno Drake is the next one. So are we going to be seeing a Cloud Soul, or are we going to be seeing an Ocean Soul? If I am a fan of... Honestly, if I want more ultimates here, I kind of want to see Cloud Soul, but honestly, it's probably going to be an Ocean Soul. Who am I kidding? Generally tends to happen whenever we have a lot of ultimates that have low cooldowns. Either way, right now, Quacker maybe in a little bit of trouble. We just saw it again. This time, Race Car Udyr are going to be back. Going to be looking to see he's going to go really fast here. Gets to stun. No, knock up. There it is. And now Quacker in the 2v1 situation. Maybe taken down here. You already used a hook. That kill is going to go on over to Potluck. And that's just Darius being a little bit too over aggressive in this lane.
Yeah, so a nice mechanic there actually coming out from Potluck. He lands a stun after the apprehend, usually on Darius. After you land the apprehend, you actually have enough movement speed and time to get a fully empowered Q where you can position yourself to get that big heal on the outer edge of the hook. Because the stun lands from the Udyr, he's not able to reposition to do that, so he doesn't get the full healing, and IMT able to collapse upon this Darius, turn that kill back in the favor of Tapoon and give him a lot of room to breathe in that top lane. Also enables Potluck to get in, take the Chicky Nuggies away from the side of Nocturne. That's a fast 6 for the jungler of Immortals, who just hits that power spike. Nocturne, though, hitting that as well for Panda. And now is when things get pretty fun for the side of Wildcard and Panda, who, thanks to that first skirmish, has actually pretty quietly kept up with his Udyr. And now with level 6, the power to turn off the lights, we're going to have to see how he uses that first ultimate.
Yep, it's going to be pretty interesting to see on how both these junglers engage, right? Like, it's just beautiful, right? One of them is a costumed man running at you at the speed of light. The other one's just darkness, right? So, two fantastic ways to kind of start off the fight. And I'm very excited to see who's going to be able to pull the trigger first. Oh my god, look, it's the Udyr!
Yo,
he's on
look at
his
his
now
shoes.
he's a bear!
Look at those shoes. How can you not go fast when you
Tiger.
have those shoes on? Like, you know, like the old samurai shoes, you have like extra space, you know, you have the wood blocks. I mean, how can you not be the fastest person on the Rift? As I know that one of our friends and co-casters, Rafa, likes to call him Barry Allen. The Flash. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm kind of ashamed that I let that corner joke into the broadcast.
All I'm saying is that, you know, if they had
Here we go.
Oh, wait, speaking of which, that's going to be a quick pick on to Joey. He's going to be gone for the count, and just like that, all it really takes is just, you know, one good pick, and now you lost your Rift Herald and Scuttle and everything. Really nicely done there for Wildcard, getting the great, amazing river setup over on the top side, and now they're going to be able to get their hands on that Rift Herald. That's going to be most likely going on over probably to the top lane, not going to lie. You want to get the Darius as ahead as possible so that he can become a huge threat throughout, because there's nothing more scary than a Darius just ahead, especially when you have 3 melees on your team.
Yeah, and Wildcard, they were first to the play, right? They backed first. They were first to the rotation. Immortals, they tried to match, but they were a little bit late on the play, and that means that they can't make a cross-map trade, right? The fact that they tried to respond, they go even, means that they aren't able to do something like stack, you know, up, get a couple plates, you know, in the bot lane for someone like Pretty or for the Seraphine, instead trading evenly across the map. The fact that Wildcard, they win the skirmish, means they come out on top. They now have Shelly in their pockets. And because kind of a weird lane state for the side of Immortals, they had Seraphine and Joey split. Joey, being the support, actually going to eat this wave, get a little bit fat on the Nautilus, see if he can turn that into some damage as the game goes on. And the lane assignments for IMT getting back in line. They're trying to get themselves back onto the Rift as well. I'd say this early game for Immortals, this Lucian-Udyr combo that we were teasing the fact could be, you know, so much power, so much early priority coming out for Immortals, falling a bit behind thanks to that early skirmish win from Wildcard, and now the Rift Herald play win going over for Wildcard as well.
Yep, and now we do see a little bit of a lane swap here. We do see the Seraphine going onto the top side along with the Nautilus. Not really too sure. My guess is that they just push out this way back and maybe start positioning for the Dragon here, really setting it up. But they're not really setting up Top Boon for success here, I feel like.
Well, I mean, he is playing into the Darius. That's not a lane where you're usually set up for success.
Yeah, it's just, you know, it's just
pretty evil counter pick. Yeah, Wildcard, we're feeling the live evil there.
Yeah, you know, not really live evil here. Unfortunately, evil geniuses are not in this matchup, but still, definitely an evil thing to do.
I mean, the fact that they're 4-0 and put IMT here, I think it's the most live evil thing that you can do. Live evil is just bleeding into the rest of this tournament.
Yep, evil geniuses just can't really escape there. That's going to be the Rift Herald, though. Going into the bot lane, we stand bot lane Rift Heralds, by the way. We always enjoy.
So real quick, too, I mean, not only do they get all these plates bot XT, but look at the setup they have, all the wards they have in the bot side river. They're using Shelly to create priority on this Dragon as well. They have a wave crashed, and this early game, you know, mid priority we were looking for IMT with Potluck, it's led to an early gold lead, and both of the first Dragons going over to Wildcard. The average team playing so well, but IMT looking to possibly respond.
Potluck trying to see if he can get Daption here. He is a fast bear, but unfortunately the ultimate there calling for Pretty, not really going to connect, and that's going to be Wildcard just walking away with a dub. They get the Dragon, and lo and behold, it's an Ocean Drake. I can't believe I called it, but, well, more healing, I guess.
You won the burger flip, XT. You won the 50-50.
Yeah, I feel like a winner, but I don't know. The Darius just really doing a lot of damage here. Top Boon, no, come on. That Top Boon, just run away, man. No, it's not worth it. No. The average stacks is full, and Top Boon just living with a sliver of HP. You hate to see it, man. I'm just saying, Amateur Darius is just a different breed of top lanes. I'm just saying, it's just such a scary thing for Top Boon here. He's so behind.
Well, you know, Amateur Darius, it is a different breed of top lane, but Tapoon actually, you know, coming from Oceanic region, going to Worlds last year with Legacy, also, you know, a different breed of top lane as well.
That is true. Oh, great trade coming on there. Joey almost getting the ultimate off onto Daption, but really does pop his flash. So that last turret plating's still alive for now, but I don't think it's up for long. He'll get down eventually.
We're going to have to see how IMT can respond. Now, the one thing I really like for IMT with their responses is that Potluck has been making the proper responses in the jungle, but that said, I say that, did I cast curse him? There is a brush there.
Oh, he's fast. I mean, let's be real.
No paranoia is going to be used, as Panda's still sitting on that second ultimate, looking for how he can use that to once again break the map open, as we have some resets coming in, some time to take inventory here, XT. A Gale Force on the Lucian and a Moonstone Renewer on IMT Keith. in the bot lane, being that supportive Seraphine, much like the likes of the ones that we saw game 1, where Fire had that mid, very similar build, should be able to buff up and heal up the beefy front line that Immortals have between this Aatrox and Udyr, looking to get that first kill, get Aatrox those resets, and snowball through the fight. And really, something where Quacker on this Darius feels at home, right? This is a rather short-range composition coming out from Immortals, minus Keith. Quacker, if he's able to get involved on this Darius, I mean, this is a team comp where Darius is not only set up for success in lane, but also can do things in the fight if he's not controlled. So it's going to be really important that IMT are able to keep this Darius under reps, keep him managed in these fights as things go on. And we're going to have to see, with the next Rift Herald spawning here in less than a minute, if Wildcard yet again use their lead to try to take another neutral objective and continue to snowball things in their favor.
Yep, I'm really interested in seeing if Tapoon is ever going to be able to catch up a little bit. Like, I mean, it's already quite clear he is quite significantly behind, but Panda, on the other hand, has other ideas right now, using that red trinket to see if he's able to make that bot lane play. Xeno also on his way. Potluck kind of sniffing it out. Teleport is available for Tapoon, but right now he does have a situation with... oh, double hook's missing. Okay, nothing's going to happen here, Cubby. Let's move on.
Well, Panda doesn't know that he's on a ward. So I think IMT, they had Tapoon take a step back from that top lane, was potentially looking for a teleport to answer a play coming in from Wildcard. Said Wildcard, as you mentioned, the hook's going wide, not going to try and force this one, but Panda's still hovering just to make sure that the Team Nuke's able to step up and knock down what is the first tower of the game, going over to Wildcard. Is with that, they've now amassed a 1.5k gold lead. Feeling pretty good in this early game, XT.
Yeah, I am. I feel the same. I'm feeling really good about how this game is playing out so far. Wildcard amassing a small lead for themselves, but I definitely would want to see how the team fights kind of break out. But you know, I'm just gonna say it again. You know, Seraphine is one of those champions where all it takes, you know, is just one really good ultimate, and for some reason, the team with the Seraphine has managed to win a fight. So we really got to keep our eyes out for there. I wouldn't be too surprised to see some shenanigans heading over as we get closer and closer to the third dragon of the game here. You definitely don't want Wildcard to be at slow point. Definitely don't want to give a overabundance of regen to both a Nocturne and Darius, who's going to be looking to play into like 4 or 5 people at the same time. So we're really going to have to see what happens here. Looks like IMT, they are just going to go ahead and get some vision control in this bottom side of the map.
They very much agree with you, XT, as they have taken complete control over the bot side river with that mid priority now, using 4 members to reassert their priority, and it looks like we might just have a trade of that Rift Herald for Dragon.
Team Luke, you're playing with my heart, man. That's just really weird place to be.
He likes to do that.
Yeah.
He definitely likes to push his limits a little bit.
Oh, 3-man route!
Oh, no.
Into a fight there. The lights are off right now. The rest of IMT can't really see at the moment as it's a 1-for-1 trade. Here comes Darius. Goes for the 3-man hook again! The Darius strikes once more, but the rest of IMT are looking to bite back. Now, pretty low as Keith is going to be not long for this road, trying to see if she can get on out of their Seraphine, though is going to be quite safe, but the rest of IMT maybe look for a response. No, that will most likely going to be that third dragon going on over to Wildcard Gaming, as, you know, it looked really good for Immortals at first, but it didn't really pan out as Darius came into the picture.
Honestly, I can't believe that Xeno face-checked the brush first, and it feels like Wildcard come out on top of the fight, right? They get the sole point with this third dragon of the game, but the fact that Xeno's walking in here first is a pretty big mistake from Wildcard. The thing that turns it around for them, though, is Quacker with the TP. Once again, we get a look. He doesn't need to be doing this, right? You can go around the wall. There's no vision control for Wildcard, and it's properly punished by IMT. But the turn, they just overextend a little bit too much. Potluck gets melted by Team Nuke, who is going with the on-hit bars build. And then Quacker, on his solo Q1 trick, comes up big in this fight. The TP is perfect. He's able to turn the tides, clean up, and chunk the health bars enough where Wildcard are able to secure that soul point, making that a point of tension now for the rest of the game, XT, right? The fact that every dragon, IMT now have to opt into a fight. They are still behind in gold.
Right.
These next 4 minutes are going to be crucial for their team, as they need a player or two to go in their favor so they can get back on even footing with the gold lead and have a better chance of winning the next team fight that now has to break out around that dragon every single time it spawns.
It's such an unnerving realization that I just had, where you could look like you're winning a fight, but the lights turn off and all of a sudden you see a Darius when the lights come back on. So that's not a really fun thing to be thinking about if you're on the side of Wildcard. So that's something we're going to have to continuously look out for, because again, you know,
it's a big axe.
Yeah, it's just a 3-man route coming out from the Seraphine And lo and behold, Quacker just comes out of nowhere from the darkness like, ha ha! I have axe! I'm going to chop everyone up because I'm just that strong. And we'll have to see on how the rest of IMT really plays around the turn off lights, your screwed composition. But again, you know, the Seraphine is always in a considerable answer. Oh, run, son, job done! Team, look, watch out! You're charmed! You're gonna get cold there! Shut down there! That's the way to do it, as, you know, the virus is just out there in the open. Might as well just go for him, and that's exactly what Bollock did! Now they get this mid-lane turret.
Team Luke punished for flashing in a straight line there, Keith. Fired that encore through his backup dancers. That extends the range, able to still lock down the Varus. That said, even though the Varus drops and mid turret does go over to IMT, there's a small trade for Wildcard on the top side, so IMT very much trading up in that play, but still good to see Wildcard make a cross map here as Xeno does clean up that wave. But we mentioned that IMT, they have to find plays to get this game back in their favor, XT. That is step one, going to the side of the Academy team, as they're trying to mitigate this gold lead before this dragon spawns here in 2 minutes and 30 seconds, where, once again, I mean, Wildcard, everything, it's an all-you-can-eat buffet, right? They can elect to team fight, they can elect to give it and get Baron control, they can elect to give it and, you know, get side lane control if they want to and funnel more gold into their carries. They're the ones that are now in control, given the fact that this is going to be Ocean Soul Point for them every time Dragon spawns for the rest of the game.
And, well, we only got about 2 more minutes until we see the big ol' Dragon fight there, but Baron is also going to be spawning here, so that's going to be another objective on the table here. If you are on the side of, well, basically both teams, so we'll really have to see on who that's going to favor. I honestly think if you are Immortals, you really need that Baron because you got a Victor on the other side of the map who just has pretty dominant wave clear, although you do have the Seraphine as well. It's just this Victor is slowly but surely going to creep up behind you and is going to become that late game threat that we all love, know, and love. So gonna have to keep our eyes out on that. But as the game does continue, Tapoon slowly but surely catching up with the rest of the squad here. Is going to be doing his best in the bot lane to push up that wave, and yeah, we're gonna have to really see Potluck again using Bear, doing Bear things. Bear. So,
Team Luke, going for the Nashor's Tooth, one of the builds that we teased.
With, there it is.
Yeah, with the Kraken Slayer. So, a couple cool things about this: it empowers the AP ratio that you have on your W, those blight stacks. And if you use that W on the empowered Q and have 3 blight stacks, we saw Shiro use this build against IMT Academy. You can get up to 1,000 magic damage chunk on some of the backline carries if you are able to land the skill shots. So a very different style of AD carry for Team Luke, but one that he is looking to excel on, as we mentioned the fact that he has been the highlight member for Wildcard. Usually gets about 25% of the gold share in a game. That's pretty high for any member on the Rift, as Wildcard, they put a lot of focus in funneling their big carry, and now he is under threat once again.
Another fight going to be break down in the mid lane, and that's going to be Team Luke gone before he can do anything. Serafino now going to be coming in, and it's going to actually stop 2 members of the side of Wildcard, both Nocturne and Darius Charm there, and Immortals. I just been saying, it's just Seraphine things. All it takes is just one good ultimate, and we see it time and time again. Immortals coming on top after a great pick on the Team Luke.
Yeah, Keith, it was 1 platinum hit, now it's 2, right? That's the 2nd ultimate landing on Team Luke, and I love the punish from Immortals because they're realizing that the only thing that can save Team Luke from that play, the fact that he doesn't have a QSS, is actually Daption with the Lantern. Both times, Daption, he's been split from that mid lane from Team Luke. Immortals, they realize that, and Potluck, he just pops the Turbo Chem Tank, says, I'm going to run you down, you're going to get CC'd for the rest of this, and also the ultimate from Pretty, able to find the damage, take out the big AD carry of Wildcard. We said that Immortals needed to find some big plays to prevent that Ocean Soul, bring themselves back in this game, and XT all of a sudden, based on those 2 picks on the big carry for Wildcard, they now have the gold lead and find themselves in control as the Academy team coming into this one. They talked about how they need to be calm, they need to be cool, they need to be collected. Feels like they're doing just that as they've been able to pull themselves back into the game on the Rift in this game 1.
Yep, and we also do see right now Quacker over in the bot side trying to see if he can get some minions for himself over on the other side of the map. Baron control being established by the side of Immortals. They're going to be looking to see if they're going to be able to not only, you know, get some vision over the top side of the jungle, as Udyr is just going to continuously steal everything he wants, but also get that top turret. Might as well get some standing gold for themselves as IMT currently in the lead at the moment. And I would imagine they do have a little bit more superior team fighting. Oh no, you can't run away from that though. That's going to be the ooh you're finding. But oh my gosh, so much blown onto the Victor. He's going to get taken down. Now the fight is going to continue. He's going to be doing a lot of damage onto the side of Wildcard. The rest of Wildcard going to be on the run. Quacker now going to be joining the fight. Although isn't really going to be able to do much. 2 people down. This also includes the jungler. This is looking like a Baron for Immortals Academy.
And you'd expect Wildcard to be, finding the picks with this Nocturne, with this Varus. But it's been IMT off the back of Potluck just running people down. Wildcard now IMT gonna find another fight.
Onto Quacker, but uses the lantern to get on out of there. But now look at this Potluck and Tapoon looking to go in. 2-man hook isn't really going to do much. And now the rest of Immortals looking to clean it up as Keith lands a 2-man root. Very nicely done, but 1 hook is down. Quacker looking to take on 4v1. No, he's just going to get on out of there. But still, a lot of kills going on over to the side of Immortals. But because their jungler is now down, they have to back on out.
I love that turn from Immortals. You could tell from the second they were starting that Baron, it was a team call. Once someone walks in the river, we're going to ban the dredge line and turn. Good team play coming out from the Academy team as they've been able to find pick after pick XT and use this to snowball a lead back as Panda, like the fact he's wrapping around that wall, using the Fog of War to his advantage. All the CC lands onto Zeno as he goes down first. Panda tries to turn off the lights to save him, not able to do so, and the fight's just over from there. And Wildcard, they burned a lot of ultimates to try and, get their teammates out. And once Quacker gets in that river, IMT, they realize they have a numbers advantage, they have an ultimate advantage to Poon. Early flash to commit as they chase down Daption, they chase down Luke. Continue to snowball this league and lead and get this game back in their favor, back where IMT wants it to be. As they've really kept their heads strong throughout this game. They were down 2k gold, now they're up 2k gold. A nice turnaround coming out here for Immortals as they're looking to continue to snowball, continue to use Potluck to find these kills, isolate these members, and take them down 1 by 1 XT.
Yep, and sometimes the simple things in life are best. You could have an ultimate that could turn off the lights and run at you and potentially, take you out. But you can also have a basic ability where it speeds up your movement speed and it's able to stun the first person you hit. So we're really going to have to do the numbers on which one's a little bit more powerful there.
Fast.
Yeah, you can also just go fast as well. And now Potluck and the rest of his crew here are just going to go ahead and take this Baron. I do not imagine Wildcard wants to take this fight after losing just so much gold. Yeah, they don't really have any vision here. Daption looking to see if he gets a vision there, but now Quacker looking to take out Tapoon. Doesn't have flash. Gotta remember he used it from earlier there. There's going to be the hook there, and Tapoon almost getting taken down. Will lose a sliver HP left, and is going to be able to get out there. Thank you, Sterix. And now looking to turn around. That's going to be the Seraphine ult. It's a 2-man knockup thanks to the knowledge. So now Panda in the back line going to be the first one to go take it down. Quacker seeing Steve. He can do anything. Look at that. Wildcard are going to be able to turn things around. Double kill for the Darius. Looking a little bit bad for Wildcard at first, but they are able to secure that fight and also this Baron.
That was such a risky call coming out from Immortals. It just feels like they're going a little bit too fast in the game because all these fights, they've been able to isolate one of the carries of Wildcard, take them out first. That time they aren't able to get on either the Team Luke or Zeno. They both survive. They both pump out the damage that both these champions can do. With that Wildcard, they secure the Baron. Immortals trying to stop the bases, chase them off so they can make sure that Ocean Soul doesn't also go over to the amateur team. But Wildcard, XT, all of a sudden we have a back and forth game. 46k to 46k. Let's take a look at exactly how Wildcard were able to get back into this one. Team Luke, he sidesteps the Encore, and this Varus ultimate just runs through all of IMT, and then the Apprehend into the big laser from Zeno, the arrow from Team Luke that's empowered. It's too much damage for the side of IMT to deal with. Now they're in this dire situation where this is Ocean Soul for Wildcard. They have the Baron buff. They have to fight at a disadvantage.
Immortals maybe jumping the gun a little bit too early. Pollock already in the fight here, but now look at this. Keith already taking a lot of damage, half HP here. There's the lights out as now the rest of the Immortals trying to see if they can make the fight happen. Look at those shields still coming out for Quacker now. Panda driving in the back line. That's going to be the fear onto Keith. He's going to first one going down, but Pretty doing as much damage as he can. Looking to see if he can get anything. No, he gets hooked in by Quacker. Look at that healing shutdown going on to the Darius. Ocean Soul going to Wildcard game, and now they have as many advantages as they want as now they have Dragon Soul.
In XT Wildcard, they were falling behind. They were getting picked off one by one, but they regather themselves. They regather their thoughts. They group up as 5. They take the Baron fight. They take the Dragon fight. They now have Ocean Soul as they are marching down the base of Immortals, who did so much work to get themselves back into this game, just denied off of 2 good plays from Wildcard, and all of a sudden, Immortals, this situation is dire. They pretty much have to wait to coin flip the Elder Dragon, seed everything from there. There's at least one inhibitor going over to the side of Wildcard. Pretty, he has a teleport. They have a few wards that are deep, but I don't think that you can look for a flank like that on the Lucian. As all of a sudden, Immortals, it was looking so good for them. They were crawling their way back into the game, but Wildcard, they turn it just as quick as the game was turned on them.
I think we're starting to see a lot of the effects of this Vars here from Team Look, just being able to lock so many people down, but we see this fight again. Fights turn out, looking a little bit bad for Wildcard at first, but look at how much damage they're just able to put into the back line.
So I love the stopwatch from Panda, because it fears Keith back into the team, and then watch this heal from Quacker, who just lands 2 massive Qs throughout the fight. He gets half his health bar back, and then gets the execute on the ultimate, the shutdown, the 1k gold, takes that from Lucian, as Quacker 6-2-3 on the Darius. I know ADFX said, we have something special cooked up. I mean, the early burger flip, the first crowd, that was something special for sure, but I'd say that Quacker's Darius as well has been a highlight for Wildcard, as this guy now has 2 accounts in the top 100 in Challenger, proving that he's not just a Renekton Shen player. Darius, I guess he still is a Darius player, but, you know, you can take these solo queue picks and use them on stage. That's what he's proven. He's doing just that, as he's looking damn fine on one of the picks that he is most known for, as he's now looking to help his team secure the rest of this game. They're looking to siege down this top line tower, and Team Luke has now finished the Void Staff, so if he's able to get these Blight Stacks and land a Q, that's when the real damage comes out from this AD carry. Is Daption going to use that Lantern to get him to safety? Okay.
A little bit of a bush camp there, though. However, that's going to be a hook onto Joey. He's probably going to be the victim of the first burst. Oh, and gets absolutely chunked by Team Luke. That's the AP Bars really coming in, doing work. Now it's going to be a 5v4. Nothing really on the table, though. Minion Wave quite a far way from the base here. And they're probably just going to be able to get probably like 2 turrets, but I don't really even think they're going to be able to push more than just that. We'll have to wait and see. Wildcard,
it feels like they want to stick around. They're going to give the blue buff over to Xeno, so he has the mana to continue the siege. They have a member advantage, but they did burn Team Luke's ultimate to make sure they find the pick on the Joey. I feel like with that, the paranoia down, they don't feel comfortable going forward. Wise decision being made by the young team is they're going to take a step back, regroup, make sure they keep their tempo on the map. They have all the advantages, right? The worst thing they could do is actually make sure that...
Okay, yeah, I've seen these 2v1s before. This is not looking good. He has an Ocean Soul, by the way. Teleport going to be coming in there from Xeno. And now it's 2v3. Quacker, though, going to be looking. Flashes forward, trying to get the stacks on Stapu. Loses the ultimate, but right now does have his fully stacked passive.
Darius is a great boss.
More. He's just so fast, man. And I'm just saying, you know, there is a lot of rules in League of Legends, but I think a new one is like you don't really go into a 2v1 into a Darius expecting to win, especially when he's ahead and has Ocean Soul.
That axe, he's swinging it with a lot of force. It's healing him as well. Wildcard, they take a 2v3 and win it. Both these solo laners, the collegiate teammates from Illinois, sneaking into the top 10 rankings of CLaw, saying that Wildcard, their average team, they deserve to sneak into the top 10 rankings of Proving Grounds, as well as they're looking to try and continue their run. This is game 1 of the best of 3. They need 2 to move on, but game 1 looking pretty good for Wildcard as they're now setting up siege with this Vars, with this Victor, and this Ocean Soul, empowering them, giving them the ability to stick around. But I think that Wildcard, they don't want to overstay. They realize that both big monster objectives are coming back onto the map.
Right.
And diagnosing the fact that it's more important that they base, they use up their gold, make sure they keep their gold advantage and keep the tempo up on the Rift, make sure that those waves are being shoved in, set up well, and they have control over these monster objectives, just trying to eliminate any possible errors that could come out as they are looking to close out this game 1 with this big lead.
Yeah, Team Luke also did miss an ultimate there, so that could also contribute to the fact that, you know, they don't really have that huge
why you gotta
burst.
do it like that? I didn't even see that.
You know, I just say, I'm calling it as it is. I saw it was on cooldown, I'm just like, that's probably why they backed off anyway. So we'll really have to see what happens, but this does mean Immortals now has barrier control, and even, I don't want to jinx it again. I don't want to hype Seraphine again. It could go either way. Both these teams are looking to fight here as Quacker positioning quite aggressively. You know, the rest of Wildcard just going to go ahead and push down this mid turret.
I like this from Wildcard, right? Just ensuring the fact that they have mid priority. They had both side lanes shoved up.
Yep.
Means that they have first access to Baron and Elder Dragon. And they want to take this Baron off the Rift before Elder Dragon, right? The last thing they want to do is trade.
Start it up.
You have a huge lead. Let's make sure that they secure both monster objectives, that it's being started up. IMT is late to the play. They're trying to burn this.
Oh, it's gone.
Are they going to be here in time?
It's gone. The lights are out. They can't see. There's no way to steal it. And now it's another heist coming out from Wildcard. They're just going to go ahead and get on out of there.
They might seed Elder for this?
No, I don't think they're going to make it an Elder time. They're going to get mid-pro. They will get vision on Elder, but I don't know if they're going to be able to clear it in time. Well, just the way to see.
This isn't
Maybe you are
ideal.
right.
Yeah, this is not ideal. They need Quacker to TP in and, like, buy some time or do something, because Elder, in a team fight, if they drop this, that's advantage over to IMT. I think Wildcard might have overreached a little bit as Quacker trying to face track.
They're going to go for a bush kick, but that's going to be a two-man ultimate along with the Var's ultimate as well, and now look at this Quacker going to be using the stopwatch. Is going to be able to deny a lot of damage to the rest of IMT. Going to be on the run, and there it's going to be the stun coming in from...
Watch Luke.
No, that's going to be double kill for Luke, though. Flashes forward, tries to see if he can get Pretty, and Pretty maybe get on out of there. That's going to be the kill. Oh, look at that damage with an empowered WQ there from Wildcard's team. Luke and the rest of Immortals are going to be down for the count. This is probably going to be game there. Baron Empowered Minions going to be charging through the mid lane, and Wildcard... What a game number one to start things off, and they're going to go ahead and take this one.
I saw 763 magic damage on Team Nuke's last Q there, as that is the ace in the hole for Wildcard. They're able to use that power, take this game one off the back of Quacker's pocket pick Darius, and then Team Nuke in the late game carrying the rest of the game through. Wildcard... What a back and forth game once again, XT. I mean, they had a 2k gold lead. IMT found some great picks in that jungle to take it from them. And then they just overreached just a tad with the Baron, just like we saw from Barrage versus Nowhere in game one today. Once again, that objective just being the death of Immortals as it enables Wildcard to bring themselves back into this game, take the gold lead for themselves. And once they got that gold lead again, they did not look back and played the rest of that game out rather cleanly.
Yeah, and, you know, I think the silent hero there is Xeno just making sure this Udyr and Nautilus couldn't really get ways into the backline as they would want to. Not to mention, after putting down that gravity field, all Team Luke has to do is shoot out his ultimate to change the corruption, and there's just not much you can really do. And that AP Virus, again, lives up to the hype. This is going to be securing another win here for the side of... You know, Amateur in general, Wildcard going to be walking away from that one. They got to feel really good about that one. As Immortals, I'm not really too sure if they're going to be happy about that loss, and I'm pretty sure they're coming into the series with a vengeance.
Yeah, I think that both teams have a few things to work on as they go back into that game. Immortals, I mean, you got to feel good about the fact that you gave up a lead, but you were able to dig your way back into that one, right? They kept their heads on top of themselves, and it's just that Baron call overreaching just a tad. They didn't go for the reset, try and get more tempo on the map and set that up cleanly. Instead, they find the pick, they try and risk that just a little bit. And Wildcard, they make the right play. They turn the fight on its head. Weren't able to isolate either Team Luke or Xeno and take them down first, as Immortals was doing such a fantastic job of throughout the game so far. So yeah, we're going to have to see if IMT can go back to the drawing board and, you know, find a way to take down or take the game too, as they need it to keep their tournament hopes alive. This Wildcard, I mean, once again, props to them, right? They were at a pretty big deficit there. They were looking pretty tough against the Seraphine Lucian. They were able to bring everything together to make sure they find the fight, that they were able to turn that game back in their favor and take the dub. And man, Quackers, Darius, I don't have Twitch chat up, but I just hope that you guys are spamming the Quacker, you know, the Quacker copy pasta. And if not, someone from Amateur, please help out the chat and introduce it to them, because it's a fun one. It's all the ducks, you know?
Well, speaking of which, we are going to be taking a little bit of a break to give ourselves a little bit of a breather and see if IMT are going to get knocked out, or if they can, you know, start things off with a beginning of a comeback. Folks, we're going to be taking a quick little break, but don't go anywhere. Proving Grounds, powered by Verizon. We're going to be right back. Stay tuned, folks.